when I was like 16, 17. I had this really embarrassing interview where I went to the premiere of Tron 2, and I was like going through puberty, and I was very excited and very overwhelmed by a very loud red carpet, and so I was like, yeah, I'm so excited to be here, and it's like the most mortifying video ever, which is definitely going to be brought back. I just like Barbara Streisand myself there, but anyways.
I'm Tiffany Taylor for The Hollywood Reporter here at San Diego ComicCon 2025 with Cameron Monaghan to talk all about Tron Ares.
What's up?
How was the panel for you yesterday? I mean, it really was the talk of ComicCon with the light show, the footage shown, the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack.
Yeah, was it actually? That's actually really good to hear. It's always a trip when you're in Hall H. I think I've done it 2 or 3 times now, and every time it's like when you're up there, you can't hear anything, including yourself. You can't even hear each other, really. You just kind of hear this like low rumble, and all the speakers and everything, they're all placed out for the audience, so it's not really for us. So most of the time when you're speaking, you're kind of like, am I actually talking English right now? I just want to make sure that sentences are coming out, but you don't get like a lot of response back, you know. So it's nice to hear. But that being said, like the soundtrack is amazing. It looks awesome. It sounds awesome. Like this is a movie that's built to be seen on the biggest screen possible. I'm so excited for seeing it in IMAX and, you know, getting some friends together to watch it. I think this is one of those movies that I'm gonna get a couple crews together to go to the movie theaters and go check out. You know, I'm a fan of the Tron stuff, so it's cool to be able to be a part of it.
Yeah, Jared Leto was saying, you know, how I mean, like the Tron original movie is just so special to him. What's your relationship with the first 2 films like?
Weirdly, I think I have more of a connection to the second one than I do the first. I had seen the second one before I saw the first. When I was like 16, 17, man, why do I keep mentioning this? Whatever. I had this really embarrassing interview where I went to the premiere of Tron 2, and I was like going through puberty, and I was very excited and very overwhelmed by a very loud red carpet, and so I was like, yeah, I'm so excited to be here, and it's like the most mortifying video ever, which is definitely going to be brought back. I just like Barbara Streisand myself there, but anyways, yeah, like I had seen the second one. I loved just visually what Joseph Kosinski did with that movie. Went back, watched the first, and also I'm just like a fan of like everything related to Tron. I played this video game that was related to Tron for like way too many hours when I probably should have been doing school when I was a teenager. So just a big fan of Tron stuff. It's cool. The color palette, the sound, the light, everything. It's awesome.
You were saying you've been in Hall H before. When's the last time you were at Comic-Con?
That's a good question. I know that we definitely came to Comic-Con for Shameless. I was on a show called Gotham that I believe came here. I was in a movie called The Giver with Jeff Bridges, who was also in Tron as well. So that was really cool to be able to act with Jeff again. I didn't really have much with him this time around, but it was just nice to be able. He's a good person to have on a set. Like, he really holds it down. He's just always like, yeah, man, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna jam. We're gonna get out there. It's like jazz, man. It's the notes you don't play, man. You know, like, he's just like, it's a beautiful energy. And something I love about Jeff is he's the exact same on, off camera, on set, off set. Like, he's a terrific actor, but he's so like naturally unaffected. He doesn't have like this like artifice about him. He's just like, here I am, I'm present, and he's the dude. The dude abides, you know? I saw
an article about the panel yesterday, and they were saying he was really just embracing and embodying the dude. Like, he brought that presence to the panel.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's written like philosophy books about like the Tao of the dude and kind of how, you know, like this like living centered and without attachment, and it's a really beautiful, it's like very Buddhist way of existing, and you know, you really see it with the guy. He's centered and he's there, and it's a joy to be around. It's a really nice energy.
Yesterday, Jeff was talking about working with Jared on the film, who's known to be a method actor. For you, what was it like working with Jared Leto?
I mean, yeah, it was nice. You know, I really, in scenes, I only really knew him as Ares, and my character is a fellow program that we're kind of these militant programs that are engaging in a mission together. And so he was commander, and it was kind of nice to be able to, like, going into the project, I had prepared a lot for 5 months beforehand. I had like a very strict sort of like diet and schedule and workout regimen and all of these things. I just wanted to like strip back and kind of just live like a soldier basically leading up to it. And so it was nice because when we got to set, it was like, all right, I've got my like officer who's going to now like give me commands on the set. And so we only really interacted with each other in that way. And then really like we've met each other now for the first time like at ComicCon, which is cool.
Did you keep that soldier routine going off camera while you were filming?
Yeah, no, that was I was working out twice a day every day for 4 months leading up to production, and then during production as well. Wasn't really like hanging out or talking to anybody else. I was just like, I want to just like live in Tron, and for a little bit I'm going to be connected into like the computer, plug into the grid, and you know, be this guy. But I wish I could say more. There's more to the character, but I can't say the thing with him. But anyways, it doesn't matter.
You were saying yesterday that, you know, digital is better than analog. You liked being in the grid rather than in the real world. For you, are you like a digital tech gadget guy? Do you always want the latest technology, or are you a little old school sometimes?
I am actually really old school, so I don't know. It was a good bit though, right? But no, I'm like, I love like cameras and like anything that has like gears and winding levers and that kind of stuff, and I really like old film cameras. So I collect them, and I like to refurbish them and rebuild them a lot. I'll get like parts and put them back together. And I specifically love like medium format film cameras. So I'm a big believer in film. I think that you can do just as much wonderful stuff with like digital cameras, but I just really like how film functions. I think it's just mechanically really amazing, and that's just like, that's my geeky stuff right now. It's just I absolutely love cameras.
So you like a gadget, but an old school gadget, an artifact.
Yeah, is it an artifact? I don't know.
No.
Like I think even now some of the most amazing, most of like I think it was the majority of the Best Picture nominees and most of the Oscar nominees were still shot on film. Now they're doing like the VistaVision stuff and the IMAX stuff and all of that, because it still needs to be like a gimmick. But I think like 35 millimeter film is still kind of the gold standard. There's cool stuff that you can do with all sorts of camera technology. Anyways, this is now just getting very nerdy on that front, but I can talk about this all day.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it was bad in an artifact way, but just, yeah.
How dare
I
you.
know, but like
the film
old
community
school,
is really
yeah.
upset with you. All 12 of us. We're up in arms, all right?
Harry, our camera guy, might be upset. He's a camera aficionado. But for you with this movie, you know, you're talking about film versus digital, but with Tron Ares, you know, how much of it was practical sets or practical effects versus CGI?
It was, honestly, I was surprised by there was more practical stuff built than what I thought there would be. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that takes place in the real world, which I may or may not really be interacting with that much. But when we're on the grid, I was still surprised. There's some really beautiful sets that they had built in Vancouver. And like on my downtime, I would love to just like go and walk around the sets and take a look at them, because the craftsmanship was gorgeous. And they did a lot of stuff with color for this one as well that was really amazing. They had a very unique version of red. There was a very specific version of red that Yoakum, the director, really wanted to hit. So we had all these beautiful sets painted with this gorgeous red, and it was really amazing. But that being said, all the digital craftsmen as well, there's a lot of stuff that you do in the grid that you can only do digitally. And with Tron, it's sort of like this thing where every generation kind of gets this Tron movie that's sort of a milestone marker of the technology of computer-generated stuff, you know, and we had it in the 80s and we had it 15 years ago, and now we're having it again, where we're seeing just how far filmmakers can go, people at the top of their game, to be able to create something that's, I think it's going to blow some people's minds.
And I mean, and already the presentation at ComicCon, just all the promotion here has blown people's minds. I saw a video of a bunch of the like motorcycles looking like light cycles driving around San Diego.
Cool, huh?
Did you see that?
Yeah. The motorcycle gang came by. We had a cast dinner last night, and we all came out and checked out the motorcycles, which was really cool. I mean, it's hard not to look cool when you're in black and lit up with like these red lights. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, there's still so much cool stuff that they haven't even revealed in this movie, so I can't wait for people to see that.
Do you ride a light cycle in the movie?
I wouldn't be able to say either way, but I can say that I did a bunch of really cool stuff, like specifically action stuff that I was super excited to get to do. I've kind of always wanted to get like a cool action set piece in a movie, and so we worked with a stunt team for a couple weeks leading up to the shoot, and that stuff I'm really excited for people to see.
We know you can't tease too much, but we're so excited to see it. And since we're here at ComicCon, I want to do some fun popcorn bucket questions with our crypto Superman popcorn bucket.
I
so
love crypto.
Pull one out.
All right. What's something that makes you Hulk out? Your biggest pet peeve? Oh my God. Okay. Not using your turn signal. All right. That's why we have them. We have the little lever. All you have to do is you flick your freaking your pinky, just your pinky finger. You flip that. Okay. That's what you have to do, man. Sorry, the sound guy's pulling down the thing right now. But hey, I hulked out. You see, you don't want to make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
That was perfect. You killed it.
What's your favorite Comic-Con memory? I mean, you always remember your first, and I came here with the Shameless cast, maybe season 3, I want to say. And the Shameless cast, liked to roll deep. They were a good group of people, and we had a lot of fun. Not only the panel, but then the night after, I remember we kind of painted San Diego red, so that was a good time.
It's no surprise that they party hard. I like to hear that.
Yeah, we're still responsible, but we partied in our own ways. Let's see. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Teleportation, because then I wouldn't have to see the guy that doesn't use his turn signal when I'm in traffic. I would just be able to go to the destination. If we can we just invent teleportation? Like forget flying cars. Let's just get right to, I'm here, I want to go there, and we skip all the middlemen. Is that a plan? That
really would be the dream. I'm always late for everything, so I could definitely use that.
I feel like even if there was teleportation, I'd still end up being 5 minutes late to everything. It's just how I would always wind up.
A couple more questions about Tron Ares. I did want to ask you, why do you think Nine Inch Nails is just the right group to soundtrack this movie? Because the soundtracks, of the first 2 films are so iconic.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the last one, Daft Punk, I still do. I would put that on when I was studying a lot. That would be something that if I was reading and I just kind of wanted to get into a nice flow state, I would put on that Daft Punk soundtrack. But now that they're broken up, looking at who's the best film scorers around right now, to me, it is Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. The stuff that they did for Challengers recently, I don't think that they got enough flowers for it. It was really absolutely unbelievable. And what I like too is they're bringing a different vibe. This movie is a little bit more sinister, a little bit more dangerous, and they have kind of a darker, harder edge to some of the music that they're bringing in as well, but still being really driving and really exciting and energetic. So I can't wait for people to see it, especially, or hear it on that IMAX sound system. Is going to sound absolutely amazing.
Have you heard more of the music than what we've heard as the audience so far?
I've heard a couple pieces. They gave me a really nice 45 LP of a couple of the tracks that is shaped like one of the Tron data discs. So that one's definitely going to sit in my collection. That's going to be a centerpiece in with the vinyl. So speaking of some analog stuff, we know it's the marriage of analog and digital right there.
That's amazing. We can't wait to see the movie. Cameron, thanks so much for hanging out in our Comic-Con lunch with us.
Thanks for having me.